James Klutse Avedzi is the Acting Director General for the Securities and Exchange Commission. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
At this conference, you are a speaker there, but one of the things that we have seen in the conference is the conversation about pensions fund.
Yes.
And in Ghana, we are very much typical about our pensions and where our pensions are invested. As a commission, what role are you playing in ensuring that the pensions funds are invested into the right place?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, the pension fund is a fund that every worker saves. It's savings that every worker made towards a retirement. So you save whilst you are working, so that when you go on retirement, you can live on that money. So that is all about the pension fund. Now, so the businesses see the pension fund as a long-term investment. Because if you make a contribution of 1,000 Ghana cedis today into a pension fund, and that money is kept in a box, after 20 years, the value is zero. So you need to grow that 1,000 that you contribute today. You need to grow it into the future so that the value will not be zero. The value will match with the ruling condition at the time that you go on retirement. So every worker is mindful of how the fund managers manage their pension so that the value is not eroded. So that when they go on retirement, they can get pension that can make them survive until maybe God calls them and they leave. So that is what pension fund is about. So we are interested in how that pension fund is invested. If you are a fund manager, the money is given to you. How are you growing the money? Are you growing the money to match up with the inflationary rate in the economy? If inflation is, let's say, 10%, and you have invested the money into an investment that will bring a return of 5%, you are eroding the value of the fund. Whatever investment you make, the interest or the return on it should be more than the inflation rate. So in that case, you are growing the money. So that is why we're doing that. Now, this program that we are attending today is about venture capital and private equity. It is a fund or an area where the private individual can have access to the pension fund in order to do their business and then bring returns. Now, the fund managers who are mentioning or who are managing the pension fund are not investing the pension fund in the private equity and venture capital. That is why we are here. Now, the National Pension Regulatory Authority have set up a limit that all pension fund managers can invest not more than 25% of the pension fund in the private equity venture capital. But they are not doing it.
At this point, it's only about 0.5%.
So now they are doing 0.58%, not even 1%. The question is why? That is why we are here. Now the target now from this conference is that by the end of next year, 2026, we should move from 0.58% to at least 5%.
Okay.
That is why we are here. So we are trying here to identify the reasons why the fund managers are not investing their pension fund in private equity venture capital. And it has come out clear that the challenge they have is that there are investment opportunities that are readily available, which we call, into quotes, risk-free. The risk there is free. For instance, treasury bill, the interest rate of recently it came to 15%, but it used to be 25%. So they go and invest that money into treasury bill and go and sleep. At the end of the year, they get what? 25%. They are growing the money. So for them, they are comfortable with that. That is actually clouding out the private sector. So one of the solutions that we are getting is that the NPRA, which is the National Pension Regulatory Authority, should give some legal backing to the pension fund manager that, look, despite the interest of 25% or 20% in the treasury bill, just commit 5 or 10% of the pension fund into private equity venture capital, which take a longer time to mature, maybe 5-6 years. So that is all we are here.
That's what we are here. And but what more regulation will also be backing the legal framework around that to ensure that what is expected of the fund managers is achieved?
If the regulator, which is the National Pension Regulatory Authority, should come out with a framework and say that all pension fund managers invest 10% of the fund you are managing into personal private equity venture capital, they will do that. It's a simple regulation. They will do that. Then the trustees of the funds will not put pressure on the fund managers to see how they're managing the fund. It's a law. If MPRA does that, it becomes a law so that they will be measured alongside that line. Now we don't have anything like that. The regulator only says that you can invest up to 25%, but there's no legal backing to say, if I don't invest 25%, there is nothing you do to me, because I'm looking for where I can get higher return for my people. So, but if the regulator says that despite the higher return there, put 5% into venture capital, it will help solve the problem.
Okay. And at the end of the day, what should we expect, or what will we expect to happen in the industry of the venture capital when they see such an investment? I mean, 0.58% is really too small.
It is expected that at the end of the day, if this funding, which is a long-term capital, is available to them, they can have proper planning, they can project well and develop their products, then grow their businesses and innovate into new products, and then the return will be that, look, they will expand their companies, more people will be employed in that case. So in a way, they're solving unemployment problem. Then if they make more profits, the return of that profit in the form of dividend come back to the fund managers, in that case for the pension fund. And at the same time, government can also take tax money and then also use tax money to help solve public goods. So the benefits, if we invest today, the benefit will not come after a year or two, but from 3, 4, 5 years going, the benefit will start coming in.
And how will we see the role of SEC in all of this? What really will be that benchmark that we can measure SEC to?
SEC is relevant in terms of regulation. So we license the fund managers to manage the pension fund and other funds. We will continuously supervise the fund managers to ensure that they do the right thing. Whatever the MPRA was, the benchmark the MPRA will set will ensure that they do the right thing, and that will lead into the benefit that I spoke about earlier. So we as SEC are for regulation. We license you, we monitor you, and give confidence to the market that, look, the person who is managing the fund is going according to the guideline that we have given out, and therefore your investment is secured. No worry at all. And that will give confidence to the market.
Okay. You just recently took over the role as Acting Director General. In the years ahead of you, the time frame ahead of you, what are some of the things we should be looking out for under your leadership?
Under my leadership, I want to change the face of Securities and Exchange Commission. One thing to do is to focus on proper regulation, proper cleanup of the market, to ensure that the quack fund managers are weed off from the market. I want to restore confidence into the market so that when you are investing money, you know that your money is in safe hands. That is what I want to do. I want to make SEC a top tier pension, and then not pension alone, capital market regulator in Africa, so that people in other countries can see us as a leader in the regulatory business, and they can visit us to learn more from us. Then also, we want to see that there is this issue about cryptocurrency, which is an virtual asset. It is not being regulated. So there's a lot of that going on now in Ghana. They are going scot-free. They are not regulated. We want to regulate the crypto virtual asset platform or space so that government can earn some income from there in form of taxes that they will tax them. And then you who want to invest on cryptocurrency, you'll be assured that whatever you are doing, your money will not be taken away from you. Yes.
We've been talking about broadening the tax net in the country because there is some burden on the few within the tax bracket. In our conversation, you've mentioned tax twice. Let's say you had to put a number to it, broadening government's tax net from your angle as Securities and Exchange Commission. What percentage do you think you could give government?
Every Ghanaian, the tax law says every Ghanaian who earn income, every Ghanaian who receive income, every Ghanaian who bring income from outside Ghana into the country must pay tax on that income. So once you are earning income, there is a small portion that you might give to government for government to provide the social goods or the public goods. The public goods are road that you drive on. You cannot build your own road. No matter how rich you are, you cannot build your own road from here to your village. So you have to drive on the road built by government. All of us will drive on that road. So government need to maintain that road. Government need to construct that road. So government need money to do that. To provide goods like schools for our children to attend, hospitals for our people, ourselves to attend, many other social goods. So once you are earning income, you need to pay a little to government. Government must also show how efficiently government is using that money to provide the social good. Then people will have confidence in government and willingly pay the money to government. Now, I can say that out of the total population of around 35 million Ghanaians, if let's say 40% are working and are earning income, these 40% must pay tax to government.
You're grateful for your time, sir.
You're welcome.
James Klutse Avedzi is the Acting Director General for the Securities and Exchange Commission. Thank you, sir.